so dead set against it, but that was one of the big arguments that I had with him. I was a treasurer, and the shortest term of treasurer in the history of the United States Judo Association. We had a meeting back in February of 1983, and this was another hotly debated topic, and with Phil, but we. Unbeknown to those of us on the board, he opted to, Fletcher wasn't working at the time. He brought Fletcher out and wanted to pay Fletcher, cash to oversee the building of the NJI, which we had a general contractor. That was what the general contractor was paid to do. And I argued against that. I mean, in my opinion, I talked about the slippery slope of not doing things right, and I worried and talked about how this was, this potentially could affect the nonprofit status of the USJA and the NJI, unfortunately the vote was 5 votes to 3 in favor of Phil, and I resigned as treasurer. But there's one other thing that I did in the USJA that was fun. It didn't, it wasn't as negative as a couple of those experiences. Phil wanted to eliminate the American Judo magazine, and I said, Phil, that's the one thing that we do in the USJA that we get in everyone's hands, and that's a wonderful tool for us, and it's a great way to communicate with people. And he said it costs too much. And so I said, okay, I'll do it for free. It's that important. I feel it's that important. I'll just do it for free. Can't argue with that. And so he let me do it. And what I learned is that there are the printers. When you take this to the printer, they always do an overrun, and the overrun. 5-10%. And what do they do with these things? And they just hold them in case in the bulk mailing, some of them get lost in the mail or whatever. And I'm a pack rat, and so I've saved all of those. And what I did is I brought a bunch of copies. They may not interest you, but I have some brand new 25-year-old American Judo magazines that I'm going to probably set down by the water cooler and make available for you folks. And I hope you'll just grab them up and enjoy them and read about yourselves and those magazines. And one other little bit. In the segment following this, we took the 1975 USJA State Championship films, and I was talking to Ross, and I said, wouldn't it be nice if if on those clips we would find a match, with young Bill Horby Jr. And wouldn't that be a great tribute to young Bill Horby and the Horby family if we could find this? No, we didn't find it, but we did think of a way to, for another tribute on his behalf tonight. And when we were having this discussion, Ross said, look, I'll tell you what, I will underwrite the cost of you transferring that to DVD, and then we can take it down to Decatur and play it. There's no sound to it, it's 16 millimeters, but it's a nice collection of stuff. Judo as it was in 1975, and you can't help but get a kick out of it. And we've actually made copies of this, that we'll be happy to share with you folks. And what we're going to do is we're going to have a kitty down there. I had to take this away from my kitty. We're going to have this kitty down there on the table, and if you like your magazines, and what we're going to ask you to consider doing is put $1 in the kitty, and if you would like a copy of the DVD, Ross has got a pile of them. Great, and if you like, put $1 into the kitty. And what we're going to do is whatever we collect, we're going to turn over to Mrs. Horby tonight, so that she can add that money to the memorial funds that they have set up for young Bill Horby Jr. And this would just be, a way that we can be a part of remembering him. So don't feel if you were able to send flowers or you send a card, don't feel obligated. Take the magazines, take the DVD. Don't feel obligated. And these are tough times, so if someone's especially hungry, you can put in $1 and take out $5 and get something to eat. But that's what we're going to do. And the last thing I want to say is the man we all admire for his leadership and his dedication to Judo, the real pioneer of Illinois Judo, is Bill Horby. And when I was breaking into the national scene, Bill was on the board long before I was. He set up this arrangement in his club to have light memberships, and I finally got us up to 50, but I just never could catch the number. And what, 60 or 70? Are you? I got 50. That's all I could muster. And I'll tell you, having the junior nationals in '75 and several more after that, but the one thing that really alerted me to the character of the dojo of Decatur was in March of 1986. I had been scouting the British Open for Women over in London, and I was on the plane on the way back in the last section of the 747, and I looked over and I saw Lisa Alstead. Now, if you have been, on one of these flights, you don't expect to see anyone that you know. And I couldn't believe it because, most of the time when I'm meeting and interacting with folks in Judo, I've got my coaching hat on, my blinders, I'm not very pleasant to approach, that's for sure. And, but this was, no coaching hat. I said, Lisa, let's get each other caught up. And we had the most incredible chit-chat. She updated me about everyone in the Decatur Club and everyone in Southern Illinois, and I told her all about, how our people were doing, and it was wonderful. That told me so much about the character, of the club. And I know the clubs up in Chicago, I say they're, I call them, they're sterile commercial clubs. They're not like what we have in downstate Illinois. I guess that's the best way to state it, and thank God for that. That's all I can say, and I'll turn the mic over to Vicki and Bill, and thank you very much.